Hey everybody, this is Landon from the Retro Junkies Super Show. I know we've been kind of quiet on the Super Show here lately, but we're working on some things, me and Rob are, throwing some ideas around about some things, directions we're going to take the show here in the future, so just sit tight. In the meantime, I figured I would show you the room where I come and relax and unwind, and don't judge me too bad. It's a little disorganized and a little messy, but that's just how I am. So anyway, hope you enjoy. Alright, so to start out, we're going to start out with where I have my games and a lot of my my game systems on display here, and it's in my living room in the main room here in the house. I'm going to turn around here and show you the games. So starting here next to the Simpsons and Fight Club Blu-ray, we have 64 games. Go on over to the SNES and some Super Famicom. This little piece here is Super Black Bass 3, and if you know anything about me or Rob, is that sometimes we like to play fishing games just kind of as a guilty pleasure. And I saw that one. It didn't come out here in the States, and I really liked it, really enjoyed it. Can't read a lick of the words in it because, you know, it's in Japanese, but you don't really need to learn to read a whole lot in fishing games because a lot of it is picture and fish behavior and all that fun stuff, so you don't really need to read a whole lot. I mean, it would be different if it was an RPG like Secret of Mana here, where it's story intensive and you need to read. Just a few games here. I don't really have them all out on display, but I've got Secret of Mana, and you can see Killer Instinct there in the black cart. What else have I got? Street Fighter 2, a lot of sports games. Probably the pride of my collection, though, is this SNES, or not the SNES, but the NES games here. I don't have a whole lot of NES games, I don't think, compared to a lot of the collectors out there, but I like mine, and I like to play them, and I've played all of these at some point or some time in my life, and have stories with all of them, and I know a lot of you all probably have stories with all your games too, and that's kind of what makes retro video game collecting and retro gaming so special, is that you have stories and memories attached. Probably the only two that I have in the case here are in the original box with the instructions and everything, are the Immortal, which is a really underrated game. I really like the Genesis version of this game better, but I couldn't pass up the box copy for the NES. I also have the Immortal, or not the Immortal, but I also have Gun.Smoke. And the Gun.Smoke still has the original shrink wrap from the Hills department store that it came from, with a price of $32.78. I don't know if you can see that on there. I'm going to zoom in a little bit and see if we can get that on there, but yeah, $32.78 back in the day for that, and that's a classic in my opinion, if you ask me. Just a few other little things here. I got some PS3 games for the newer folks here. I got probably the coolest anniversary present I ever received. A still-in box with all the original warranty paper and the little plastic bags, everything came wrapped in NES from my wife. She got that for me for an anniversary present, which was really cool. I got a few GameCube games here behind the children's Bible story books here. A few more PS3 games. Got a few DS games over here. I know I got the Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds on Nick Stevens' recommendation, and he didn't disappoint. That was a really good game. It was really satisfying to finally get through that one. Mario Golf as well, another Nick Stevens recommendation. So if you want some good 3DS and DS games, Nick Stevens is your man to go to. Also have Chrono Trigger for DS. I'm not going to get that out for fear of knocking the eggplant and the car over, but I got a Chrono Trigger and a Final Fantasy. Oh no, I heard a minion. And a Final Fantasy 4 that Rob gave me for Christmas here a few years back. A few Master System games. I don't really have a whole lot of Master System games, but the one that I have that I really I guess is collectible and I really enjoy is Wonder Boy 3: The Dragon's Trap. Great game. Just really haven't had time to get into it.
What else do we have here? Got some movies, got Blu-rays of Star Wars here. That's just a kind of a junk shelf, but we've got movies and all sorts of cool stuff down here, you know. Here are my Dreamcast and my PlayStation games that I've actually kept together. You know, I kind of went through the phase like everybody does with the CD-based games, where they were just kind of in a CD album, I guess. The old school, like, I attribute them to kind of like baseball card albums, you know, but they're for CDs. I've got most of my PlayStation games in one of those, but I've got the complete Lunar Silver Star story with the cloth map and all that. That's really cool. Final Fantasy IX, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which is a great game. I love that game more than about anything on the PlayStation. Bushido Blade, another good one. Dreamcast, I don't really have a whole lot of good games. You'll notice there's one missing here, and that's Sonic Adventure. But I've got NHL 2K, NBA 2K, Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, and Ready to Rumble Boxing. Don't have any 360 games out per se, because I sold my 360 to kind of fund a computer project. So let's go into the game room again, because these are all out in the living room. I just kind of got them out on display for everybody, and that's what I do, is I get the games from the living room and take them back to the game room here. Alright folks, so here we are in the game room. Got these two Star Wars collectibles here. I don't know if they're collectibles really, but they're the giant-sized Stormtrooper and Darth Vader, or as my loving little daughter calls them, Stormy and Darth. Got those for Christmas from my parents. Got a Kirby Amiibo hanging up here. Let me move this cup. That's my cup for doing models and such when I want to wash my brushes out. I got a Kirby here that I got for a birthday present, Star Wars stocking, a R5-D4 action figure that I got from one of the Retro Junkie junk boxes, which junk boxes are a really neat way to just kind of trade stuff around. Really love this. My mother got this for me for my birthday. It is little miniature movie posters of all the Star Wars movies, and then it's got like an individual film cell from each movie that the poster above is for. So that's really cool. Computer there where I do some of the editing and podcasting from. My mic, my Return of the Jedi movie poster, miniature movie poster there hung up above the TV. These are what I call my Alice in Wonderland chairs. I don't know if you can see them real well, but they're really high-backed chairs, and they're just kind of patchwork together. They came with the house when we bought it, and I really thought they were cool, and I thought, well, I'll just put those in the game room, and those are my gaming chairs. Got all my Genesis games here, and I know it's kind of hodgepodge back there, but they're all the way back through there. But I've got some of the classics like Ghouls and Ghosts, Miss Pac-Man, Golden Axe, what I call kind of the black label Genesis games. I've got all those together. Then I've got the red label, which has, you know, WWF Royal Rumble, Ranger X, which is a really great Genesis game, X-Men, Sonic 3, NHL 94, Rocket Knight, which I just bought on a whim one day, and it turned out to be one of the best, I guess, whim purchases I've ever made. Let me get back down on here, because I was kind of off on that. But those are where all my Genesis games live. Got my Sega Genesis with the Starflight in it and a Sega CD here on the ground here. I keep a lot of my stuff on the ground. I know I shouldn't do that, but I really don't have anywhere else to put anything. I don't really have an entertainment center. As you can see, I just kind of got like an end table with a space in it, but I'm hoping to change that here soon. I'm hoping to get a bookcase and put in here somewhere to put my games and everything in. You know, got an NES. This is the NES that Rob and I always talk about that had all the cool stickers on it, and I'll show you that real quick. You know, we've got everything from Krang and Splinter to half of a turtle, Luigi, Ninja Turtles, Bebop and Rocksteady, and a really cool Super sticker on the top of it, you know, because that made it a Super Nintendo to me when I was a kid. Over here underneath my drawings, got the Sega Saturn, got a Master System right here, GameCube and Wii, SNES, the dead Dreamcast, the working Dreamcast. Here's the Sonic Adventure that I was talking about earlier. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I got a few Saturn games here. Nothing too special. Probably my favorite ones were the Japanese ones, the Dragon Ball, and I actually got 2 Dragon Ball games. Dragon Ball Legends, which is a fun game to play on the Saturn, and this one I can't pronounce the name of that one just off the top of my head, but it's a shooter, and it's probably one of the better Saturn shooters, I think. I mean, it's no like Radiant Silver Gun or any of those other Ikaruga type shooters, but I mean it's pretty good for what it is. You know, got Virtua Fighter, Daytona USA, you know, the standard Saturn staples there. Yeah, got a few little trinkets here in the window. Got halfway completed Darth Vader TIE Fighter model, and Radagast from The Hobbit, who was just kind of hanging out on the windowsill, looking out over the room. Tennessee Titans foam finger, which I got when we lived in Tennessee. I've got a box full of comics right here. I don't know if you can see that, but got all my comics there. I need to get me a different box, and yeah. So with that, guys, I hope you had some fun looking around at the games and some of the stuff. I know some of the angles probably weren't some of the best, but I try. Anyway, just keep staying tuned to the Retro Junkies network and to the Super Show. Again, me and Rob are working on some things, and we love to hear from you. So let us know what you think about this and any of the other shows that we did. We'll talk at you later. Bye.